Hello, everybody. It is Dea and Renee, and we are talking about the Valentine's holiday today. So, if you are on here, jumping on here, watching it in the replay, be sure that the first thing you do is hit the share button. We really appreciate it. And if you see something that you really love, click the heart button, the like button, give us the thumbs up. And of course, if you want these recipes today, all you have to do is type in newsletter in the comments and you'll get our subscription card to, it'll come in your Facebook Messenger, and then you will be able to get them weekly. So they'll automatically come to you. So we have a little different system now. All right, so I am from California, and it is very cold for a Northern California day. It's in the 30s here, but I know that Dee is somewhere completely different. Hello, Dee. Tell us about what's going on in Medicine Hat.
Well, all of southern Alberta is under extreme weather warning. And so what that means for us is that this morning we had wind chills of minus 35, threatening to go down to minus 40. And then they were speaking about tomorrow morning, the possibilities of wind chill as low as minus 50. But it seems like whatever kind of system is moving, that those hourly updates change all the time. So our actual temperature right now is minus 22, but with the wind chill, it feels like minus 30. So you're plus 30 degrees, we're minus 30 degrees. So winter is officially here, at least for a few days. So you have no idea how excited I am to come to your 30s instead of my 30s.
That's right. Yeah. Next week, actually, it'll be a little warmer next week. But if you're interested in our retreat, all you have to do is type in the word retreat, and we'll send you some information on that. And that is going to be cooking classes and behavioral education, and you can watch it online if you can't be here with us. But if you're available to get to Northern California, come on over and meet me and Dee. All right, so Dee, we had a couple questions already here. Who sells carb-free cocoa? Do you know?
Okay, so my best, I need to clarify my wording. So last year in Costco, I did buy one that actually registered no carbs per serving. The one that is in Costco right now has 1 gram of carbs, 2 grams of fiber, 0.05 grams of fat. So right now in the land of cocoa, that you're going to look for unsweetened cocoa. And then that is the best nutritional label that off the top of my head I can get you right now. And so if you used, that full tablespoon, you're going to count that as a sweetener. It is a pure product. There will be no other fillers, sweeteners, or ingredients in there, nothing to spike your glycemic index, such as sugar-free sweeteners that still contain sucralose, xylitol, those other kind of things. So if you want to use it now, if your coach says no, it's a no. If you have to save it for phase 4, you save it for phase 4. So with my dieters, if they want to use 2 teaspoons or a tablespoon, they need to count it as a sweetener. No questions, no, not an add-on, like not just another extra to your day, but they have to count it. So even if it has 2 grams of fiber, which gives you a -1 net, we still don't really encourage that kind of counting. So right now, that's the best one I have. I wish that I would have snapped a picture of the one that was in Costco last year, but I didn't, and I don't remember what it was. But right now, Costco is carrying a good one, like as far as a clean ingredient, and it has, like I said, 2 grams of fiber per 1 carb per tablespoon. So it's a very generous serving of cocoa powder as well. So you could even, if you're doing a single serving of the cookies, you can cut that down to 1 teaspoon even and get that extra richness from there. So just a very minuscule add-on. So I hope that helps.
Excellent. Okay, awesome. So Dottie did say she found hers at Higgins in Washington State.
Oh,
we got a hello from West Virginia. And hey, how are you? And Susan says hello from sunny central Alberta.
Hi,
Okay.
are you
All right.
in Central Alberta too?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. All right. So here's what we've got going on today. And I thought we would start with dinner because most of what we're going to be talking about today is sweets. So tell us about this.
So this is my go-to, this is our special occasion go-to meal. So as I said, I had gone on yesterday and gave a little preview, and I talked a little bit about having a lot of special occasions in February, and my family's go-to special occasion meal. And all of my boys, including my husband, their favorite celebration meal is steak and lobster. And I can do this plate of lobster and steak and veggies for under $20 a plate at home. I can't go to a restaurant and have a good steak and lobster and then I have to customize my veggies to suit my needs. And often, the place in Medicine Hat, which we're going to do a little bit more homework on, but very rarely can I get good veggies to go with my, it's always something not allowable. It's going to be corn or peas or, they won't make a substitute, or, you're going to pay $5 extra for a few little tomato slices or something like that. So I go and buy lobster and I will source out the best price. So whether that's going to be at our co-op or if it's going to be at Costco. I'm talking Costco today. I'm really not trying to give them a big plug, but the crazy interesting thing about Costco is around Valentine's Day, they always have the seafood stand up in our local Costco, and they do at Christmas time as well, and they do at Easter. So I think they've got it all marketed around the major holidays so that you can get it at a more economical price. So the little tail that you see there was retail value was $10. And the T-bone steak that you see there was actually $7. And I want to just touch a little bit on that because we do spend a little bit of time talking about quality meat cuts. So last night I ran into the grocery store and noticed that a lot of the packages of their good cuts of meat were 30% off. And so I thought, oh, they're probably expiring today, but I'm going to cook this tonight, so maybe I'll buy it. The expiry dates on the best before dates were to the 8th of February. So they had just randomly gone and slapped 30% off stickers off of, grade A cuts of beef, double A cuts of beef, those types of things. So when you're ever in the grocery store and you see those stickers, have a quick peek, especially if you're willing to buy it, repackage it, and freeze it. So there's ways to get great quality of meats for a little bit less. So I don't know the entire marketing behind that, but I'm going to do a little bit more investigating to find out why they do that. But they had me at the $7 T-bone steak for my husband, and then anything that had a 30% sticker on it, I was checking her out last night. So yeah.
Good for you. Good for you.
Why not? And I don't want to sound, if you're a person who really, really just enjoys the ambiance and atmosphere of going out to eat, that is fantastic. And I would never deny you that. Hello, Melissa. Nice to see you on. But I have to tell you, for my house and the appetites, and just our own personal schedule right now, we're busy every night. We really, truly are. And I'm not glorifying busyness. I really am not. But we have voice lessons and ringette practices and volleyball practices and so on and so forth. So for me to make and create a really delicious meal at home, it's actually comforting to me, and to know that I can still have a fantastic meal at home for a great price, because I'm the type of person who often, if we decide to go out for that meal, I have buyer's remorse like an hour or an hour and a half later, because my tummy doesn't feel quite right, because I don't know really what was on those spices or on, I'm sensitive that way. And especially if I'm on protocol, I'm really sensitive. And so I can control that. And then I can feed my family of 5 this wicked amazing supper for a fraction of the cost of that evening out. But again, everybody's lifestyle and rhythms are different. So this is just what works really great for my own home. Yeah.
Yeah, I love it. And you know what? That's a healthy looking portion, you guys. So you can always be checking that out. Cynthia says, looks great. I'm just 1 pound from my goal. I've been able to succeed because of great coaches and finding your site. Thank you so much, Cynthia. That's what we're here for.
Congratulations, Cynthia. That's super exciting. Super exciting.
Yeah. Okay. But make sure you keep working with your coach and phase out properly. That's the key. That is the ticket. Okay, Dee. So this picture looks so pretty and so Valentine's.
Thank you. That is a strawberry vanilla parfait or vanilla raspberry parfait. I'm so sorry. You know, I have done this recipe with different IP products a few times over, and sometimes they discontinue, and so I have to reinvent them. So this is our raspberry jello, and it is blended with a ready-made vanilla drink with a little bit of extra gelatin added to that, so that the vanilla drink part actually sets up like a parfait. And they're blended together, and then I like to pour them in a fancy glass. And then they settle out and set. So the color in actually, I should have tried to get a bottom at the crystal there, is actually quite pink. And then it goes to a paler pink, and then to the foamy, frothy on the top. So you kind of get 3 different levels of texture. It's nice and light and airy, yet it's really, really filling. So in that picture, that is your 1 vanilla drink mix and your 1 packet of jello. Your jello is your collagen product, and it's a freebie every second day. So you can eat both of those servings and still only have to count a 1 unrestricted ideal protein vanilla drink mix. If you're not doing ideal protein and you are on another program that has similar products, you could do the same type of idea. And when you are using gelatin, it is also a pure collagen product. So collagen, I'm going to really kind of get stuck on collagen for the next few weeks. We're heading into a season where we need the vitamin D, we need the collagen support, we need to make sure we're taking our vitamins. But collagen is vital for all the systems in your body. It comprises 1/3 of your body. Great amino acid support. And a lot of times people just think it's hair, skin, and nails, but it's your organs, it's your heart, it's your lungs, it's all the good stuff in the inside of us. So it's really, really important, and it can help digestion and satiation. So it's a really big winner. So I really like it, and it's in these types of recipes really easy to incorporate and create. So yeah.
Yeah,
sorry, that's a little long-winded.
Well, no, it's great. And actually, I had someone that was interested in the different collagen proteins, and so I told her to check out last week's show. So if you want to find out about the different kinds of collagens that Dee uses, we definitely talked about that in last week's show. So what do we got here, Dee?
Oh, well, those are the vanilla raspberry parfait. There's the chocolate vanilla peeking behind it, and then the foamy peach jello one is kind of peeking out there too. So when I'm in creating mode, I do a lot of things all in a row, and sometimes multiple times all at the same time, so that I can just do taste testing and texture testing and see how things turn out the best or the not best. And I'll tell you, sometimes things look really, really good. Like the foamy peach jello parfait, I actually didn't give you that recipe today because I think it's a fail.
It was a thumbs down.
I just couldn't decide, right? Like, do I like this or do I not like it? And so I'm not a very picky person. So I have to say, if I'm questioning it, I'm going back to the drawing board on it. So that one I am going back to the drawing board on. It looked like a lot of fun, but yeah, sorry.
so ignore the peachy color. Yeah. What do we got here, Dee?
That is my vanilla chocolate mousse, and we'll get to the little big Turk piece on top. in a bit. And this one was a lot of fun because this was the same type of, so I'm working with collagen, I'm working with gelatin. It can, you know, another thing a lot of times is that I'll get messages that say, Dee, what can I use as a thickener in my recipes? You know what? Gelatin. Plain good old gelatin. You know, it has a tiny bit of protein, it has no carbs, it has no sugar. It's an excellent tasteless thickener that you could incorporate into your recipes, and again, your body can use that gelatin. The other thing I just want to mention about gelatin, we'll just kind of keep adding little things. There are different sources of gelatin. So if you do not eat beef, or if you do not eat pork, you know, there are fish and other options out there for you that you can search out so that it works within your dietary needs as well. So this is the vanilla drink mix. Sorry. There's a ready-made vanilla again, and the chocolate powder drink mix. And I bloomed the gelatin and water in the chocolate drink mix, and then poured in the vanilla drink mix and a little bit more bloom gelatin, and mixed them all together. And I let it rest for a little while, and then I blended it again, and I repeated that process a couple of times, then poured it into the glasses to settle out. Now, I did this with different amounts of gelatin a few times. So one turned out like mousse, really kind of neat because it's really nice and airy on the top and a little thicker mousse on the bottom. This is the picture you see. But in a batch, I used way too much gelatin and I made chocolate jello. It was chocolate jello. And so I took a bite and I'm like, oh, it's kind of, you know, it's kind of weird. And then I took another bite and I'm like, oh, but the flavor is really good. And you can put sweetener, you can put extra sweetener in there if you want. You could put, you know, all the cocoa powder in phase 4 that you want. You could really richen this up. And by the time I was done thinking about it, I had eaten the whole serving and I was really full. And then I'm like, chocolate pudding's pretty good too. Like, or chocolate jello, I mean. Okay. Chocolate jello was pretty good too. So,
so now we know you can make chocolate mousse or chocolate pudding.
Yeah. So chocolate jello. It's like definitely like the texture of jello. But so, you know, if you make a mistake, that's okay. If you use a little bit too much, that's okay. So as long as the taste is good on your tongue, it will still work. So yeah.
That's right. That's right. Being consistent. So before we get to this lovely picture here, I want to say hi to a couple people. Susie is here from Washington. And Andrea is from Hamilton, Ontario, and she says, ladies, I have been looking forward to this all day. Josephine says, looks delicious. You're amazing, Dee. Yes, she is amazing.
Thank you, Josephine.
Maria says, looks amazing. Can't wait to try it. All right.
Thank you, Maria.
If you guys are just coming on here, type the word newsletter if you want to get the weekly recipes. So that's how we do it now. You'll get a little message in Facebook, and then you can subscribe to the weekly newsletter. And then if ever there's a time at which you want to unsubscribe, you can totally do that too. Okay, so let's tell us here, Dee, what we've got on screen. It's so pretty.
Those are branched chain amino acid gummies. And so a few years ago, I decided that I needed to make some gummies out of my gelatin. And ever since then, I have seen so many different versions, so many different water gelatin powder ratios to get the flavors. And the really cool thing is there's not a right or wrong. And I've seen some amazing creations. Josephine herself, you should see her gummy graphics. So she should post some pictures in the comments of the gummies that she made with her boys, because even the pictures, how she staged them, like they look like they're in action. It was so awesome. And the great thing about gummies is you can make them out of your extras. You know, you don't have to use any type of protein pack. You can use them with the mangosteen and the tangerine, your IP Jello and branched chain amino acids. Your blue cran drink, you know, works as well. So all those extras, all those freebies, you know, you can even make them out of lemon or lime water and your gelatin. I mean, the sky's the limit. You can make them out of if you're not a hungry dieter and you struggle to get your protein in, make a batch of peach mango gummies and, have a little snack during your day. Like there's all different ways to incorporate getting your daily protocol in. But for your snackers or your protocol users that really have a tough time beating the cravings, because for some it's really true, they're looking for something to satiate and beat their craving. This is a great option too. So some guilt-free snacking, and if you order some silicone molds off of Amazon, you can even get the tiny little gummy bear ones where like one package of Jello is going to make like 100 little gummy bears.
Wow.
Right? So try eating those one at a time to, to satisfy yourself. Yeah.
That sounds very snacky. So what do we have here, Dee?
So those are my branch chains, and you'll see that's the bottom. They're a little bit foamy, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't taste off. And then that was the start of my process of I took that raspberry chocolatey temptation bar and I melt them down on low heat on a double boiler, or you can defrost in your microwave. And I dipped my really solid gummies into the chocolate. And in Canada, I don't know if you have them in the States, but there is a candy bar and it's called Big Turk, and it's basically a chocolate covered jube. That is basically how to describe a Big Turk. And I know when you say that, like some people are like, ew, but they're really good. They're really good. And for some of us, pre-programming, or sometimes even when we're off, I mean, I won't mince words to anybody. Chocolate's a problem for me. It's a problem because
Me too.
Yeah, because so it's something that I have to stay away from, even in maintenance, because it's a fast trigger point. So that raspberry chocolatey temptation bar, I just think it's an outstanding fill-in when used correctly. And so this batch that you see here is actually tucked away in my fridge because I did taste it to make sure that it was going to meet my expectations, and then I had to put it away though because I was at capacity for food that day. So I actually can't wait to work those into one of my days. So, and there's
There's the final picture that has the Big Turks and the branch chain gummies. And again, the gummies are, they can be a freebie. They can be an every other day thing. And I love the creativity, Dee, because it just gives people so many, options. We, many of us, I don't want to say everyone, but many of us have little snacking things we like to do. And those gummy bears kind of hit the spot. For that. And also it's something that if you enjoy baking and you enjoy doing some things in the kitchen, it's something that is easy to do and not going to send you off track. So that's awesome.
And if you're
Vicky says, I've never heard of a Big Turk. And by the way, Vicky, neither have I.
Yeah. I'm taking a picture, but that's okay. They don't want them. They're terrible. Like, no, this is much better option. The great thing about things like the gummy recipes and how you can work them too is that, this show is really, about ways that we can help ourselves be healthy. But you know what? It's a great one for the kids too. So there's so many unhealthy snacks and prepackaged snacks really directed and marketed to our kids, our teenagers. This has real fruit juice in it. Oh, great. And, tons of sugar as well. So you can find these amazing low sugar options and make and create them with your kids as well. Get them involved. And then, that you could give them a sugar-free snack like this, that it really is not detrimental to their snacking. And lots of the kits, too, like I don't know the specific brands, but they come with fun molds and little droppers and all the things that you can make it with. And so, I mean, I think that would be a great thing to give your kids on Valentine's Day instead of another big bucket, of candy and chocolate that they don't need. I mean, everybody's still OD'd from candy and chocolate from Christmas, and now we're into, Valentine's Day, and then they're gonna have the pot of gold coins leprechaun day in March, and then we're gonna have Easter, and it's always a continuation. And I know sometimes I sound like a big meanie when I say that, but you know, a lot of clients will come in and says, I just don't know what I'm going to do. You know, all that Easter chocolate's coming out. Like, it's never left. Like, it has never left us. They just keep repackaging the same garbage in cute packaging, and it attracts us. We're attracted to that, you know, cute packaging. It's the same stuff inside of it. So we have to try to start practicing to rethink what it really is, and then what we can do to get it off of our minds as well. So, yeah.
Totally agree with you. Totally agree with you. Question, could you do cinnamon gummies?
You sure could. You sure could. There's a few really neat things out there too if you're an adventurous cook. Now, you can order oils, flavored cooking oils, like essential oils, but they're for cooking, and they don't have calories or carbs in them. So if you look under candy making supplies, you can find things like that, where you could do cinnamon ones. You do have to do your due diligence though, and make sure that they don't have sugar and carbs. If they're true baking oils and extracts, they're going to be safe to use. If something doesn't have a label on it where you can find out, ask Siri. She's awesome. I had a client ask me if they could use, you know, this energy drink by a certain brand name, and it didn't list any nutritional values. And then when I asked Siri how many carbs per serving it had, 12. So buyer beware. Sometimes when there's not a label, doesn't mean that there's nothing in it as well. So
absolutely.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So, you know that I always, you know, save my last, but this isn't quite my last, but this is next to last. These look delicious.
Mm-hmm. They're so simple. They're really good. That is just a vanilla drink mix packet. It has 1 teaspoon of milk in it. If you can't use milk, use unsweetened almond milk. That's perfectly fine. I used my 2 teaspoons of oil, and I did use an egg yolk. Now, I did have a question that says, why do you use the yolk and not the white? Well, I like the moisture of the yolk. White it does give the same nice puffy texture, but it's a little bit drier. So I tend to use my yolk versus the white, and then I use my white at breakfast time instead. But if you like the white, go ahead and use it. I prefer the yolk. Make a batter and put it in. This one I chill in the fridge, and then roll out. I have like a little 1.5 inch heart-shaped cookie cutter. 325, 5 minutes. They make this lovely little puff cookie. And then you can decorate them however you want. So this one was simply just defrost Walden Farms jam. So this is my little trick. I know you can do it on a double boiler over low heat. I don't ever cook anything in a microwave, but I do defrost, and I know it's not a great option too, but a tablespoon of Walden Farm jams will melt in 20 seconds on defrost. And then I use that as the icing, and then a little bit of that double chocolate raspberry bar again, just for picture taking purposes the first time I did them. But I have these cookies in clinic today with shaved chocolatey bar over top of the jam, and it's really good. They turned out really good. So you could melt a restricted bar as your icing. You could just brush these with any of your sugar-free jams or syrups. So sky's the limit on how you want to decorate them. You could fool your kids with these cookies. You absolutely could, because mine walked by, popped them in their mouth, and then turned around and said to me, "Are these IP?" They always do that to me. They're like, "Oh, it looks so awesome." And then, yeah.
That's what my son does too. He's 16. But you know what? I catch him with nacho dorado chips in his room. Okay, you guys, last but not least for today, we got the Oreo cake cookies, and like, who could not love these?
They're good. I'll just say that. They're good. One of my most favorite parts about creating these recipes was when dieters make them and send me their pictures or tag me in their pictures. And Jeannie yesterday tagged me in a picture, and her Oreo cakester, the cookie part looks divine. And she made a chocolate and egg white filling, and it looked, if you could have reached into the screen to pick off her plate, they looked fantastic. And so again, the method is very similar to the vanilla cookie. These ones require just a little bit more liquid. The chocolate drink does. It's made of the chocolate drink mix, guys. And your filling, again, you can make filling out of egg white in another packet, or you can make filling out of pudding and some sugar-free syrup, or you could just brush those with any sugar-free syrup or dip. You can put jam in the middle of them. You can make a serving of pudding and just, you know, divide it out. So it's a lot of fun. And pictured there, that's one chocolate drink mix pack. So yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
So those cookies are about, they're not quite 2 inches in diameter. So it just shows you how just by tweaking things a little bit, you can get quite a generous serving. So yeah, lots of fun to make, and lots of I just like those chocolate cookies on their own, just not even filled. But I'm a true chocolate fan, so I love dark chocolate too. So yeah.
All right. Well, what a great week, and just, you know, knowing that we have all these wonderful options out there. We are, you know, on track, focused, and knowing that your Valentine's Day can be steak and lobster at home, and some wonderful little dessert treats, and throughout the week when everybody else is having little hard candies, you can be having your freebie gummy bears at your desk and not feeling left out. And you know, that's the key is that we kind of change some of those old thought processes of I'm feeling deprived and not feeling deprived, and knowing that you are making a very specific decision for your good health and for your longevity and for feeling better. And this time next year, you'll be in a completely different place,
Yeah.
you know, and, you know, going down that road. So as always, we hit the 30-minute mark way too quickly. So Dee, tell us your top 3 tips for the upcoming Valentine's week.
So honestly, guys, it's another day. If it's a special day for you and you want to celebrate it, by all means. But the great thing about Valentine's Day is kids don't get a week off like they do at Easter and Christmas. It's just simply one day. And you know what, your kids don't have to be surrounded by sugar either. You know, if you can buy them, like I put a list up in the picture, check it out. There are just some ideas, not limited to. If you need to buy gifts, you know, I think some of the best ones are the freebies, like, you know, just quality time with each other, or buy practical things you need from the house. Or if you really, you know, if it is a special day where you get a special treat from your loved one, don't be scared to ask for it. There's an entire list of non-food items. Go do activities. On Love Day, I think the best thing that you can do to somebody you love is it didn't come up on the graphic, so I'm going to tell you. Pick up the phone and make the actual call. No texty, no email, no mess of graphics that I love you, you know, like the messenger and these mass messages. Sorry guys, like no. Call. Let your loved ones hear your voice, you know, talk to them. Spend quality time with them. Phones away, TVs away. Go for a walk. Have a nap together, for Pete's sakes. Just spend some time together with the ones you love. Go volunteer. Go donate some of your time. You know, pick a project that needs to be done that evening in the house, or, you know, watch the game together, or go to a game together, or just, you know, there's so many things. You said top 3. I'm just rambling now.
No, I love it because I have been so busy this morning. I didn't get to see the graphics, so that's awesome.
So one thing that really, like, you know, these kind of days like Valentine's Day, sometimes they make people really sad. And there was something when my kids were growing up really drove me crazy, is that, you know, the teachers demanded that you must give every kid a Valentine in your class. So you know what, not to get into the too deep part, but about, you know what, so there's a kid that picks on you every day of your life and you got to give him a Valentine, you know, like, come on, people. Like, if you don't want to celebrate the day, if it doesn't mean nothing to you, whew, shout out the door. Don't worry about it. It's just a day. It's a commercial. It's a big dollar commercial day, just like all the rest of those holiday stuff. Don't stress about it. It's just a day they plunk on the calendar. So, but again, like, if you love it, like, the whole entire month of February, I give examples like of my son and my husband, like they have birthdays. I have twin brothers with birthdays this month. It's my mother-in-law's birthday this month. It was my granny's birthday. I mean, I could find a reason like every third day in, or almost every day in February to, you know, have a reason why I can't do what I need to do. So it's just another day.
Yeah, there you go. Because there's never going to be a good time to start.
Yep.
All right, you guys. Thank you so much for being here with us today. We will be reconvening next week before to the refresh retreat. And again, just put the word retreat in and we'll send you some information if you want to join us either online for some of Dee's cooking classes where Dee will actually be making things up on the screen, or in person. We would love to have you join us. All right, so Dee, talk to you next week. Everybody, have a great weekend and enjoy your loved ones.
Okay.
See you soon.
Bye, everybody. See you soon. Post some pics.